the fuck am I looking at? Among the pile of RPG Maker games released throughout the years, there was one that always stayed in the back of my mind. A horror game that, being honest, the true horror is how incredibly horny everyone is. Nonetheless, it was different from the rest, and it will be the talk of the day, that game being Mogeko Castle. The game was originally released on April 1st, 2012 using the RPG Maker 2000, but 2 years later it released a remake which is the most commonly played version nowadays. The creator is Funam, or Deep Sea Prisoner. She's an indie Japanese artist and developer of various titles such as Adanohara and the Great Blue Sea, The Grey Garden, and the game that we are going to be talking about today, Mogeko Castle, the first game she released. Our story starts with a strange yellow cat-like creature watching over someone who looks sick in bed. The specimen decides to tell a story, a very amusing, sad, violent, and pervy. You play as Yoneka Kurai, a high school girl. She rides a train to her home, where that day seems to be when her brother, who she has not seen for a while, will come visit. While on the train, you decide to take a nap. But after waking up, you encounter yourself in a strange station by the name Mogeko Castle. The place is very empty, with a eerie vibe to it. But that might have just been the strange messages about high school girls. After walking for a bit, you enter a forest in which you are greeted by a Mogeko that says he wants to have fun with you. What the fuck? These seemingly cute creatures are basically very horny. They are going to be the central antagonist of the whole story. Anyway, after running for your life from those fuckers, you encounter a menacing building luring in the horizon. A castle. Not knowing where to go or what to do, you decide to enter it, unaware of the horrors and insufferable moments that await you. To be able to escape from there, you need to get to the highest floor of the castle. Information given to you by somewhat strange Mogeko. Yes, that's his name. The game has 7 chapters, each corresponding to a floor. They range from quite normal places, where you can explore and find items, to maze hallways, and even to rooms that seem straight out of Yumeniki, of how much of an acid trip they look like. Between each floor, a flashback scene starts showing fragments of Yoneka's past with a brother that eventually get tied back together to the present day plot. In terms of gameplay, there really isn't much. You can walk, interact in various ways with the Mogekos, collect items like pepper, prosciutto, or porn. They honestly don't do anything. They are only there for a joke or just because yes. From time to time you will find key items to progress the story, but that's about it. This is definitely a game more focused on the story than anything else, so let's get back into it. Upon entering the castle, a swarm of Mogekos appear and try to capture you, but luckily they are stupid, so while they are distracted fighting each other, you run away and promptly hide in one of the rooms, because one of the Mogeko has a portable high school girl radar. What the fuck? This is also the floor where you meet the somewhat strange Mogeko that I talked about earlier. He introduces you to the castle floors and gives you a knife for protection. The floor starts with a flashback of young Yoneka with her brother walking. He seems absent, zoned out in his own thoughts. Yoneka asks what's the matter, to which she simply replies it's nothing, and brushes the subject away by asking if she wants some ice cream. After the brief backstory scene, you are introduced to the bullshit that is the chase sequences. Oh, got the wrong turn? Fuck you. Wrong door? Well, it's not that bad because of the consistent checkpoints, but slightly annoying nonetheless. There isn't much about this floor, honestly, aside from wherever this is, so let's get into floor 3! In here you find a bunch of dying sick Mogekos who are troubled by what they have done or simply scared of dying. You will also find a book explaining about the defect Mogekos, special Mogekos with different powers and different ways of thinking from the usual bunch. However, upon reading about this, Yoneka is captured and thrown to prison. In there you find a green scarred Mogeko. He explains he was put in there because of being defected, and is already scheduled to be executed. Yoneka helps the defect Mogeko get out of the cell, and due to her action, he decides to help her go through this mess of a castle, and with that, defect Mogeko joins the party. Throughout the game, the defect Mogeko will explain more about the lore of the Mogekos and the castle, on a lot of which is pretty interesting. Their relationship will also grow little by little, and it's nice to see. Defect Mogeko leads you to one of his friends, Blood Spirit, who helps you get to the next floor of your journey. Most of the Mogekos in this area seem scared of something or someone, saying they will get crucified and killed. Defect Mogeko proceeds to explain that someone rules this floor. She's called Mogeko. It has a hyphen, so it's different. She really likes gore and has a very interesting hobby of torturing and crucifying the Mogekos, so we need to be careful here. Then you go through this Yumeniki area of jumping Mogekos, which in my view, I think Mogeko is forcing them to exercise by jumping and running until exhaustion and death. Eventually, the person you needed to avoid the most appears. Mogeko is a humanoid Mogeko created by King Mogeko to become the perfect girl, though she just ended up turning into a crazy bitch that not even Bob the Builder could fix her. She says if you don't love her, you die. After that she starts chasing you. Remember, take the wrong turn and you are dead. Eventually you are able to lose her and find a bunch of depressed Mogekos, but most importantly you find Asu, this angel Mogeko crucified. It's another one of those special Mogekos we have read. Mogeko caught him and tortured him for who knows how long. He doesn't have much time left, but he still helps Yonaka and Defect Mogeko escape the hands of Mogeko. Asu tells you about a secret passage below Mogeko's bed so you can finally get to the next floor. The next floor is a hospital where you will explore in order to find weapons for extra protection. This place is definitely one of the most eerie places in the game. The tense music in the background, the hospital grey walls, and the rooms filled with sad and sick Mogekos just add to the depressing and creepy vibe. But wait, look at this guy. I also forgot to mention this thing, which you try to kill with a fucking bazooka, but the thing has plot armor, so you get saved by a furry. You get saved by Mofuro, the cute furry Mogeko. He brought you to this area with a bunch of fluffy Mogekos that got infected by some kind of virus. You can also get infected by it and get another ending. Floor 6! I'm fucking losing it! We reach an area that was supposed to be the library, but turns out King Mogeko got there first and he's ready to throw hands. But thankfully you got the fucking bazooka. The game cuts to Yonaka and Defect Mogeko running away, and then you got to this area where you can get another ending. You can talk to Defect Mogeko and... elope? I don't know what's going on anymore, let's just move on. What the fuck? So the chicken Mogeko dies while trying to help you get to the next floor. You proceed to the most intense chase sequence of the game, and at the end, something unexpected happens. Defect Mogeko gets shot by King Mogeko. Yonaka desperately runs with Defect Mogeko, trying her best to help the kindest person she has encountered in this whole game. Even with her effort, it's too late. Mogeko, in his final moments with Yonaka, tell her that he is in fact the final special Mogeko, being basically the complete opposite from everything that makes a Mogeko normally. He has fought against the Mogekos for an eternity, gaining his scars and an ear ripped off. A pretty emotional scene, but cut shortly because time is running out. As a last stand against the Mogekos chasing Yonaka, Defect fights in an epic final battle against the king. However, just a strong will is not enough. You appear in a bus. Was it all just a dream? You think for yourself. But the blood in your hands is a gut-wrenching truth that you cannot deny. Walking back home, you find your brother, the person we have been looking for the whole time. But instead of a heartwarming welcome, you find your house and brother like this. During each floor, a flashback would pop in, vaguely explaining the sister and brother's past. Shinny has done something horrible that led to him killing his parents now. Yonaka knew about all of this, but didn't stop him. Now, it's your turn to join the family. You can get a bad ending if you can't escape from your brother's blood-covered hands, dying in the process. In spite of that, if you are able to run from him, you get inside the bus again. Finally, safety. But it turns out the bus is driven by a Mogeko because of course it is. Yonaka snaps and eventually stands in front of a door that will provide you with two choices that led to two different outcomes. If for some reason you killed any of the special Mogekos throughout the game, the path of paradise will be open. Yonaka goes back to the house and kills Shinya. After that, she goes back to the castle, becoming their ruler and god, killing King Mogeko and wearing his scalp as a crown in the process, finishing the normal ending of the game. If you have not killed any of the special Mogekos, the path of Falsehood will be open to you. You will be back at the house with your brother, but this time you don't run, and not only his hands drip with blood. Yonaka drew her knife and killed him. On his last moments, you two talk, reconciling their issues. Yonaka ends up being weirdly happy in the end. The Mogeko from the beginning is shown again, finishing the story he was telling. Turns out that the person on the bed was Yonaka all along, and the Mogeko was King Mogeko. You are stuck there forever, and just like that, the true ending comes to a close. Now, before I give my final word, let's just quickly talk about the bonus room. In here we can see a bunch of details about the characters you saw throughout the game. You can play dress up, you can recreate the Last Supper, and you can also get in a radio broadcast where Yonaka talks about incest. Great! Mogeko Castle is an interesting game. It's very short, gameplay wise there's not much to it, and there's definitely some stuff that is just straight up very weird, but nonetheless you can find some enjoyment to it. The story is okay, it still kept me interested to see what was going to happen. The visuals look great and the characters are quirky, let's just stay with that. It's a fun, unique game that goes more into the shock factor than anything else, but honestly worth experiencing. It's a part of RPG Maker history that deserves to be remembered.